Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I'm your most favorite manifestation coach on the internet or just about anywhere else. All the information from me is below. My website and email is below if you need to reach out to me for coaching. I mostly coach with email and audio exchange. I also do have phone call packages. In fact, all of my packages do include some phone calls, but I also have a package that is strictly phone calls. Every other day we communicate for an hour. I usually go over. It's a session based on what it is you need to work on in your manifestational goals, going over all of the beliefs that you hold right now. We start with your childhood into adolescence up until today. The audio exchange works the same exact way. We start with your childhood up until today. You record an audio and send it to me. I go over it, I analyze it, and send back my response. The audio has to be 20 minutes max at a time. Everything is on my website. If you look, all the pricing and all the descriptions of how it works. Upon booking, you really need to sign my agreement, which basically states I am not a psychiatrist or therapist of any kind. I am a coach. You need to come prepared. You need to be respectful. The coaching fee is non-refundable, and you don't get to bombard me and expect me to be available at a drop of a hat. I take a day or two to respond to your audio. If it's the phone call conversation, like I said, it's every other day that we communicate. I record those phone conversations with your permission, of course, and obviously. Simply because I need to take notes. I'm a very organized person, very thorough. I go through every single audio more than once. I take extensive notes. It interests me to know and the kind of person you are. What have you done thus far? Why are you not manifesting so that I can help you manifest your dreams? This is my job. If you rebuttal me, if you start being difficult, please don't come into my coaching. I'm here to help. I'm just here to help. This is my job. If you are going to be confrontational with me, disrespectful, the coaching will end and the fee will not be refundable. So come humble, come agreeable, come willing to work, and come being prepared that I might trigger you, that I might push your buttons, not in a disrespectful way, but in a way where we examine your beliefs so that you can be prepared to manifest after finishing my coaching. Momentarily, you will be uncomfortable by examining yourself because nobody likes to, sometimes admit certain truth about themselves. It's uncomfortable. But it's necessary for you to lead a better life. So in momentary discomfort, you learn a lot about yourself so that it can help you down the line to perform, better manifestations in your life. And that's just it. You need to pre-book. You need to pay in advance. I do not offer any payment plans at all. I recommend you spend at least a month. Ideally, you would spend 3 months for the complete work to be done. Some people have spent 4 months, okay? You need to come dedicated and committed to this process. I will instruct you. I will guide you. I put so much time into my clients. It's absolutely, ridiculous at some points because I really care. Nobody will spend that much time with you holding your hand throughout this process as I will, okay? But like I said, ideally 3 months, and you need to pay the full price upfront, okay? I just need to square off my time so that I can, understand that you're going to stay with me for 3 months or 2 months, okay? 2 to 3 months, ideally 3 months. I also have a seminar package on my website, as well as coaching for coaches. And this is somebody who wants to become a coach and develop a practice of their own. I teach them everything that I know from being a coach for almost 8 years now, having dealt with different personalities, people of all walks of life, how to determine, people's problems. I'm really good at that, and hopefully, If you come open and ready to be receptive, I can teach you that. And I've already coached a lot of coaches. I've had lots of clients in the past who, you know what, at some point, it was a little bit triggering for them what I said, but it was true. And I always cut to the chase. I don't bullshit you. I don't bullshit around. I'm saving you time and money, in fact, because out of the entirety of your life, you'd rather spend 3 months in coaching with somebody very direct rather than continue on for years on end leading a dysfunctional life that without seeing any valuable results. And I had more than one client tell me, you know what? Yeah, I got triggered at that point, but you were right. And I wish I didn't rebuttal you so much, or I wasn't triggered so much. I wouldn't gotten more out of your coaching. So just, take it to the bank what I just said. You really need to understand that I'm on your side and I'm here to help you overcome your dysfunction. It's not personal. I'm here, your coach. I'm not trying to pick on you. It's not that. It's that I see what you don't see. So if I see something, I will definitely voice it. And if you can't handle it, if you can't handle the truth, it's going to be very difficult for you to change your life around. That's all I have to say. Okay, if you have any questions, comment below, or better yet, email me. Okay, my email is below. Okay, today's subject is how to get your SP back with telepathy. This goes for everything. This is not just about SP, all right? But since a lot of people come to me with SP questions and this and that, I will talk about it from perspective mostly of SP. And then I'm also going to answer a question later on who commented on my channel the other day. And I didn't really get a chance to read through the question properly, and I'm going to answer it later because I think it's an interesting question. Okay, how do you get your SP back? Everybody's talking about this ad nauseum all over the internet. How do you guys get your SP back? How do you get her back? How do you get him back? All these tricks of the trade, right? And the idea here is that you're already doing it with telepathy, except you used it the other way around. So your SP is not here with you. You telepathically communicated to him or her that they're better off without you, or that you don't want them, or that you're irritated with them, or that you're fearing of losing them. Some kind of message went out from your consciousness, reached their mind. They agreed to it because they have no free will, and they carried out your instructions. That's all that happened. All right? Now, you create everything this way. Everything is mental. Nothing actually exists. And I know for a lot of people, this is going to be really hard to swallow, really hard to grasp and wrap their mind around. But this is actually the premise of the entire 3D. It's not even real. The only real thing is your mind, because your mind is everything. So these techniques and this affirmation and that whatever does not even hold a candle to what you can do with your own mind. With your own mind, you are all powerful. And the idea is that, here's the idea. Universe is so much on your side. It's so on your side that even when you create shitty circumstances and events and versions of people, it lets you create them. It lets you create them. It's like, yes, you want that? Fine. Here you go. But if you change your mind, and the key word here is mind, you realize I could have been creating this magnificent version of them, or this magnificent version of circumstances all along. All along, you're the only one who's pushing it away from you. So if on any given day, and of course, you guys know what I'm going to say, you need to do the work on yourself so that you change your mind through your belief work, through coaching, through understanding why you created this. There's a program running within your mind. There's no question about it. This is why you created it. This is why you thought that you were creating something good, or you thought that you were in the right, or you thought that, you needed to react this way and this and that and the other. But actually, no, you don't. No, you weren't creating the right thing. You were creating things against yourself. You were struggling against the good that was already there. Now listen, I'm not talking about, right, parenthesis here, I'm not talking about SPs who were abusive, disrespectful, humiliating, or, in any abusive in any way. All right, or emotionally abusive, physically abusive. That does not fall under the category of anybody who you should ever have in your life, right? So we draw the line at abuse, just like I don't accept abusive people in my coaching. We don't even talk about abusive people. But if there was a misunderstanding, if there was a falling out, if there was a fight, if there was some kind of circumstance that led to deterioration of the relationship, or if it simply is not coming together somehow, they're hot and cold with you, or they're here and there, or there's a third person for some reason, and this, that, and the other, that's a whole entire different situation. And that you could certainly turn around. But the reason it is like this today is because you telepathically informed that person of basically what it is that you'd like to create. Now, on a conscious level, you don't understand that. On a subconscious level, you know exactly what you did. There's a certain inevitability factor in that your thoughts are commands, right? So the 3D has a buffer of time. And so if you commanded with all your might, with all your energy, with all your intention, it will come about faster. But if you just periodically think of something that you don't prefer, you still have time to make it turn around. Right? But if you're really passionate about, like, even in the negative sense, like even in the sense of like, I really don't like this. I really don't like this. I really, really, really don't like this. And you know what? About them or about the circumstance and this and that. And what happens is that it's inevitable that, first of all, this person will disappear out of your life. And secondly, that the situation might get worse. Okay? Now, if tomorrow you turned your mind around and said, okay, forget everything that happened. I'm starting brand new, and I'm creating a new story here. Because it's all up to you. Everything is mind. Nothing actually exists. So if all of a sudden this morning or afternoon or evening, whatever it is on whenever you're listening to this, you decide, all right, look, this was a shitty creation. I acknowledge that. I take responsibility. And now, right now, I am creating a new picture of my life. What does it look like? Okay, this looks like this SP is going to reach out to me and maybe they want to talk to me. It's just an example. Okay, I don't know what your situation is. You're going to have to get into coaching with me. Maybe they were hot and cold with you before. Maybe they were emotionally unavailable. Maybe they chose somebody else. I don't know. There's innumerable examples that we can come up with, right? But essentially, they weren't around. You telepathically send a message to this person, I'd love to talk to you. And you mentally construct this situation, how you're talking to them, whether it's in person, whether it's over email, whether it's over text, whatever it is, however it is you communicate. I've done this so many times. it turned so many relationships around that I really wanted to turn around. There's some relationships that I didn't want to turn around. And that will be the same case with all of you guys. Some relationships, you know what, you just don't want to bother with anymore. It's just gone too far. You really don't like a lot of things about this person, or you just don't want to waste your fucking energy, right? So I understand that part. But somebody who you really want to turn the relationship around, most recently, I had this happen. I've done this many, many times, but most recently, and I love when the relationship is so gone to such a extreme where it's already, it seems like there's no way out of this kind of dynamic. They really don't like me and I really don't like them. Okay. I've had this situation recently. Somebody I had to settle a lawsuit with, actually. And I just got tired of it because it just went back and forth. It had something to do with my, one of my companies. And I said to myself, I just want to be done with this. And it will really serve me right now if I just turned it around in my favor, so much so that this person is now on my side. Even though before, like, you wouldn't believe, I mean, we were fighting in court for a few years and this and that. And I just said, I'm tired of this. It needs to be in my favor, 100%. Needs to be that they turn around, want to work with me, become my best friend, la la la. Now, I worked on this and this is all telepathic, of course. Now, I worked on this for, I don't know, I would say a month, okay? A solid month. I would just imagine things going my way. My lawyers were telling me, no, it's not going to go your way, blah, 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 blah. I disregarded all this, and I just said to myself, no, it's going to go my way. And this is how. And I had these conversations with myself. But of course, when you're having these conversations with yourself, you're having these conversations with them too. Nothing is a secret in the universe. When you really resent somebody, the situation is going to go bad to worse. But if you turn it around and you start saying, well, I really appreciate this about them. Well, I really appreciate that about them. And you know what? I just want to infuse this situation with a good feeling anyway. Because this is what I choose now. This is what I want to have happen, because obviously the other side is not budging. So I will be, the person, the manifestor here, and I will be creating an outcome that I want to manifest, right? Because basically they're me and all this kind of stuff. And this person actually agreed to all my terms. They agreed to all my terms. They came and apologized to me. They're now my best friend. They literally would do anything for me. I could call them in the middle of the night and they will do anything from me. True story. So now in the same way, you can turn around your SPs. I've done this with SPs, the ones I really cared to have turned around innumerable times. I've made their memories erased. This is another story for another time. Literally, I've had SPs that I made come back and they did not remember certain things, I would say. I've made text messages disappear. This is all possible. I mean, your world is really your oyster. And so telepathically, when you start communicating a new story, and you can erase memories, like I said, they will forget about certain fights or forget about certain things. They will be a brand new version of themselves. Now, again, your desire has to be pure. You can't be coming from a grudge. You can't be coming from some kind of ill feeling that you used to carry before. All of that has to be wiped. This is why working on yourself is of paramount importance. You will not believe the kind of changes are possible. It really is possible. But one more time to emphasize this, you really have to come with a pure heart and pure desire. No more grudges, no more beliefs that you're holding on to that pollute your creations. All right? Because if you're not going to work through your beliefs, guess what? They're going to pop up again with that SP or another SP. This is just the reality of things, all right? You're not fooling anybody. And when it comes to your creations, there are no secrets in the universe. What you think materializes eventually. or right away if you're really passionate about it. Like I said, now you can use this, for good or for bad, right? Against yourself or for yourself. So the idea is to use it for yourself. If I sit here and think, oh, so and so is going to email me this, that, and the other, because you construct it all in your mind. And it's as if everybody has access to your mind. It's not as if, it is so. Everybody has access to your mind, and they're just playing out your scenarios in plain view on the screen of your space. If you decide, okay, today is Monday, for example, and I've got a busy day, so this is why I'm recording in the morning. Afterwards, I have a ton of meetings and phone calls. I decided in the morning, okay, this is how my day is going to go. This person is going to be like this, and this is going to happen, and that's going to happen. And I just want to have as many things accomplished as I can. This is exactly what's going to happen. It's like everybody is coming to the board meeting in your mind before you even get to them, right? To their meeting, to their phone call, to their email, and whatever. They telepathically receive your messages. It doesn't even have to be verbal sometimes. It's just a feeling. It's an energy, okay? And by the way, speaking of energy, because I listened back to my audio from yesterday on my channel, and I realized, I'm still trying to verbalize a lot of things that, when I do my coaching with my clients, it somehow comes out a lot better because I am able to give them the example how to work on their personal situation. There are a lot of things that I cover in my coaching that I can never cover on my channel because of what the reason that I just stated, because it's a little too, if I start giving examples, which I cannot, okay, absolutely cannot. Even the people who piss me off, I can't do it. I really was angry the other day, but the reality of things is that I can never go against my own principles. Other people will, but I will never. So I can't really give examples which will illustrate to you a lot better how to do the work that you need to do the work on yourself. But in coaching, I get to share a lot more techniques, a lot more ways to utilize your energy to create the outcome. And it's for different people, this will sound like the energy work. Some people don't understand exactly what that means. And sometimes on my channel, especially when I speak about SPs and this and that you are God of your reality, that this is just a matrix and this and that, many people have called me the devil. Well, you know what? The devil, me, knows how to fucking manifest, and you fucking don't, okay? So get with the program. It's not the devil's work. It's actually how the universe operates. And you know what? The sooner that you will conclude that and start being a little bit more intelligent and a little bit more, civilized about not bad-mouthing somebody who's trying to help people, maybe your life will turn around too. Just saying, just a suggestion, just an idea. It's so ridiculous. Parenthesis here. Like a lot of people, see, I understand when somebody's humble about it, right? And when I say to them, you are the God of your reality. And they say, Anna, it's really hard for me to grasp this concept, but they're working on it. Like they understand that maybe what they've been taught up until now, it's not the truth. But if somebody like straight up starts calling me the devil and that I don't get to manipulate my own reality to my preference, that's just sad to me. That's just really close-minded and really unintelligent. Really unintelligent is softly put, actually. This is really kind of like behind in dark ages, It's like if you believe in devil, you might as well believe in Santa Claus, okay? Seriously, though. You're not 5 anymore. Grow up. Okay, back to the topic. Sorry, had to insert this. So if day in and day out, if you change your tune, all of a sudden, your SP will get the new message. They will get the new message about how you want to think of them now, the kinds of intentions you have towards them, the kinds of conversations you have with them. Many times people have come back, like with different people, SPs, and, my employees, my business partners literally came back to me and said to me word for word the conversations that I would have with them in my mind. It was spooky at first, but then I got used to it. So they hear you. They literally hear you, not like audibly, but in their mind, they will think that they're thinking those thoughts. But actually, it's you telepathically communicating it to them. Because in your world, you're the only thinker, you're the only mind. So they are, quote unquote, under your spell, under your thought transmission. This is the magic of it all. Okay, there's no voodoo here. There's no like mumbo jumbo situation. This is actual physics. Thought transmission has been proven by scientists. It's like they put two particles across the fucking universe or something, and when they manipulated one particle, the other one got simultaneously the message. It was reacting in the same way. So it's just like that. It doesn't matter the distance. It doesn't matter if they're on the fucking moon. Okay? It doesn't matter if they're, I don't know, in Africa some goddamn where, on expedition. I don't know, saving babies. I don't know. They are thinking what you're thinking. Right? And the change will come if all of a sudden right now you telepathically communicate to them something different. You won't have to pick up the phone. You won't have to write an email. You won't have to do absolutely anything. You just have to think. You have to think this into existence. Stop being desperate. Stop being needy. You don't need anybody but your own mind. And you don't need, when they're in fear, they think that they depend on the 3D, when the reverse is true. The 3D depends on you. The 3D is like, whenever you're ready, whenever you're ready. We're ready for new thoughts over here because we're just out picturing towards you what you've thought thus far. So whenever you're fucking ready, right? We're here. We're ready to take the orders from you. That's how it really works. Meanwhile, you're over there pouting. Why is my SP not here? Why is this like that? Why don't I have the money for Anna's coaching? I'm sorry. I had to include this. Many people reached out to me like, I wish I got your coaching. Stop wishing. Start manifesting. So you can really transform your life, because I really can take you there. So stop reacting to 3D and be on purpose about it. Sorry for the background noise. I think the truck driver agrees with me. The synchronicities galore. So funny. Stop wishing, start intending. Start being on purpose about it. Start choosing, okay, what it is you're going to manifest in your mind, in the telepathic realm. And before you know it, it will be like manifesting like this, like this, like this, like this. You're going to get there like almost instantaneously. Now, I don't know where you are in your development, right? For me, at this point, it's easy as pie. But, to some people it comes easier than others. But I really think that this will be your reality if you work on yourself. If you work on yourself, there's nothing else going on. There's no other person to invest in other than you. And yes, coaching is an investment. Spending time on yourself is an investment. Self-care is an investment. And that investment pays tremendous dividends because look at, if you don't invest in yourself, who the fuck is going to invest in you? Don't worry, I'll wait. You need to start with yourself. Because the kind of thoughts, the kinds of ideas that you're going to start cultivating when you treat yourself as the most important person in the world are drastically different when you're constantly referring to 3D and checking of what's playing out on the outside. The old story movie. Who gives a shit about that? Seriously though. You need to create the new movie in your mind. That's the investment. But those new ideas don't come without the work on yourself. They just don't. It's impossible to, have the old version of you come up with new ideas. There's some work to be done there. It's just the reality of things. The idea also, and I'm going to close with this, right, is not just to get your SP back, because some people come back to my coaching sometimes and they go, well, guess what? They left again. I got them back and they left again. Well, then there's some work to do. And to be honest with you, sometimes, not always, but sometimes people are not entirely honest, even with themselves, of how much they're in fear or doubting or being insecure. Many times I've had this in my coaching where the person just literally wanted to impress me. They're trying to impress the coach, right? And so they didn't fully work through the things that they needed to work through because there was some remnants of past beliefs still left. And they didn't want to even admit it to themselves, much less to me. That there's still some residue that's activated from the past programming. Don't do that. Come completely humble, come completely honest. Don't waste your time on trying to impress anybody. Who gives a shit about impressing me? Please. I've heard it all. You're gonna sign up for coaching, you might as well completely be transparent and not, put up some kind of it's ego-based. When you try to impress anybody or putting up rebuttals is because I'm triggering you and you're afraid that I just might be right, because I usually am, or that, you just want to seem like you're put together. Who cares about that? Isn't it much more important to achieve the results that you want permanently, to get your SP back or to get whatever it is you want back, your money, your career, blah, 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 and keep it? To me, that's way more important than impressing a coach or rebuttaling with them. That's the most important thing. It's all about you. It's not even about me. It's never been about me. It's about you, 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 you. I'm here for you. That's the whole entire shebang. And so the idea is to not only get your SP back or anything you want, your life back, whatever it is that you think that you're lacking right now, but to hold on to it permanently, to get it and keep it for the rest of your life, right? And so that's the work. Because when you really grasp this, 100% what I'm talking about, because sometimes people are like the other day I had somebody send me one of my videos. And he's like, wow, yeah, now I now I remember what you've been telling me before in my coaching. I'm like, well, now you remember. That's so funny. Anyway, but people, sometimes listen to me, but it takes time to completely click in, right? And once you really grasp it 100% what I'm talking about, 100%, it's your identity, that you understand this now, it will be so easy for you to telepathically create your reality, to be the master, magnificent fucking manifester that people will look at you and be like, yeah, you're the devil. You must be, because everything's in your favor and you're unbothered by anything. Why should I be bothered? I'm the one creating this. And even if some shitty shit happens, I'll still manage to turn it in my favor. All right? You're not the devil because you learn how to manifest. You're the God's child. The child of the universe. The most blessed person on the face of the universe. The luckiest person in the world. To learn these things, because let me tell you something, not only most people wouldn't put in the work to help themselves, but most people wouldn't even believe that this stuff is real, okay, that this is how it actually works. So if you're one of those people who actually has the good sense of realizing that this is actually how it works, do invest and work on yourself. It will be the greatest thing you've ever done with your life, okay? Because it does pay tremendous dividends until the end of time. Thank you very much for listening. If you have any questions, my email is below. I'll talk to you later. Ciao.